Quite many participants. So surprised with the Saturday night.
Usually more than 100 participants, Pak Iwan. So that's why Prof. Teddy still want to wait.
Yeah, for our promotion nowadays, not really like previous years, actually, Pak Iwan. So
I think many activities. That's why
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
cannot attract many people, not like before.
And it is Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday
But
night.
yeah, for
Yeah.
Saturday night, still good in number. Or maybe can we start now, Prof? So maybe
Oh yeah,
later
okay.
other
Let's
participant will join.
Yep, sure.
Okay, let me start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we are gathered here today for this insightful webinar. So this is our second webinar in the series for 2024. Okay, so I pray that this event bring benefit and knowledge to all participants, and that Allah grant us the wisdom to utilize this knowledge in the best possible manner. To gain the barakah, let's start our webinar with recitation of Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. And first and foremost, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished speaker, Professor Akram Zeki and Associate Professor Mahmud Iwan Solihin. It is an honor to have such esteemed experts share their insight with us today. The program will commence with opening address from Professor Teddy Mantoro, the General Chair of IEEE-Computational Intelligence Indonesia chapter. Following his remark, we will have presentation from our two speakers, each allocated 20 minutes. And after the presentation, we will proceed to the Q&A session. And to ensure the smooth running of the webinar, please mute your microphone throughout the session. And if you have any question, kindly write in the meeting chat and we will address your question during the Q&A session. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Professor Teddy Mantoro to open the webinar. Please, Professor.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Dini. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Bapak Ibu sekalian, so welcome to the webinar series 2, the collaboration between the IEEE-Computational Intelligence Society Indonesia chapter and of course the School of Computer Science, Nusa Putra University. So this is like I mentioned earlier just now, that this is our second webinar, and we expect every 2 weeks until several times, hopefully until 10 times, but we don't know yet. We can continue sharing the knowledge here, right? So the purpose of our webinar today is actually two. The first one is sharing knowledge, and the second one we talking about the silaturahim. We want to learn each other, we want to know each other. So we are really welcome to everyone here who attend this seminar. If you want to share also in this forum, please let us know. So in this context, I would like to thanks also to Dr. Dini, who become the coordinator for this webinar, and also our team support from the admin support from School of Computer Science. We have Gilang and Handi, for example, who prepare all this conference. So today's seminar, we have a very nice topic actually. So the topic is about the AI-powered research publication and the image analysis. So it is in line between the school and also with the CIS, the Computational Intelligence Society, that we really interested with the development of the of AI from two perspective at least. The first one is from the application level, and the other one is from the development. So if someone, for example, doing couple development also, in the area of artificial intelligence, for example, in the area of computational intelligence. So we really like to hear from you here. So for today's seminar, we're going to have like two topics. Professor Dr. Akram Zeki. This is my colleague for many years. Since I was in Malaysia for 6.5 years at that time, we met. At that time, still Dr. Akram, now become Professor Akram. He's going to share his knowledge in the area of the AI tools for research and publication. So as everybody knows, in the area of for the research and publication, AI tools really help us actually in the to do the research, for example. So one of the concept as important stage inside of doing research, from my perspective, is something what we call as the literature research and analysis. So a lot of tools that we can use to do the literature research and analysis to get the structure and the structure of the literature review. And sometimes we need also to dig more on the writing thing, yeah. So we can use the AI tools as the writing assistants actually, and we can use also for data analysis. And nowadays we can generate couple program even from the couple tools under the AI, generative AI, and based on that coding that we have using Python, for example, we can running it and do the data analysis. So getting more easier, but of course the core will be still with us, yeah. And then the second speaker, the Associate Prof. Mahmud Iwan Solihin, he going to share with us about the image embedding, using the deep learning for the image classification. So there is 3 keywords here. The first one is the image embedding. Image embedding consider not a simple approach, because usually people who are working in the image embedding, they try to summarize the image, for example, the whole book, sometimes. And we want to create the summary, or usually they use the deep learning. The second keyword that I can read from the title is about the using of the deep learning here. All right. So the deep learning model that usually people use for this approach, they use the CNN. Yeah, CNN is convolutional neural network. And using CNN in terms of image embedding, it can be used for the image classification. So usually using of course multiple layer, a lot of layer, and doing automatically a learning process by what we call that, by identify the features, like age, for example, shape and texture. So we want to dig in detail later on when Associate Prof. Dr. Iwan share his work. Of course, the key in the end, talking about the classification. So this is also not easy stuff, especially when we're working in the image embedding. So again, without further ado, so we would like to invite again, Prof. Welcome also, Prof. Akram, and also Dr. Iwan. So I think that's all from my side, Bapak Ibu sekalian. So now go back to Dr. Dini as the moderator for today webinar. So thank you everyone for attend this webinar. You are free to interrupt at any time, raising your hand or give some idea to sharing with this community. So with that again, thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good night.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sorry, I forget to mention the topic of our webinar is AI Power Research Publication and Image Analysis. Okay, thank you, Prof. Teddy, for your insightful opening remark. Now, I am pleased to introduce our first speaker, Professor Dr. Akram Muhammad Zeki. And before we begin, let me share a brief biography of Professor Akram. Professor Dr. Akram Muhammad Zeki is a professor at Kuliah of Information and Communication Technology at International Islamic University, Malaysia. He held few administration positions such as coordinator for postgraduate studies at Faculty of Information and Communication Technology, and then head of research in the same faculty, and then held a position as a deputy director of Centris and acting director as well. He is a supervisor for more than 30 master and PhD students. He is leading few research grants under the university or under national grant and also international grants. Prof. Akram has more than 10 books and over 155 publications in Scopus and more than 45 book chapters. Besides that, he received a few awards from university and national level. He is an editor of Journal of Science and Technology, JST, and the International Journal of Islamic Application in Computer Science and Technology, IGASAT. Prof. Akram is a senior member of IEEE and a trustee member of International Computing Institute of Quran and Islamic Sciences. Please join me in welcoming Prof. Akram to start his presentation. Please, Prof. Akram.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Professors, doctors, researchers, academicians, participants, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much for inviting me to this webinar. I am very delighted to see Prof. Teddy here, the chairman of IEEE CIS Indonesia chapter. And I'd like to express my gratitude to the organizers of this program, the School of Computer Science at University Nusa Putra, and the IEEE-Computational Intelligence Society Indonesia chapter for organizing such a great event. Special thanks to Dr. Denny from Department of Computer Science, International Islamic University, Malaysia, for her efforts in making this event a success. So today, inshallah, I'm going to discuss about artificial intelligence tools for research and publications. I'm sure that many of you, like Prof. Teddy, and as well as many others, having more experience than I do in this field. But this session is a sharing session. It's not really lecture-based, but it's a sharing session. That's why I welcome any contribute, any addition, any feedback. Especially this field is improving very fast. So that's why every day we have a new thing, we learn new thing. So we need to update our information. So I'm going to share my slides. Okay, so this is, as I mentioned, that my presentation title is AI Tools for Research and Publication. So I am going to discuss some current AI tools and AI facilities in research and publications. I'm sure that all of us are researchers. We need these tools in our daily life. So let me start with a simple definition about AI. What is AI? Artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science, as you all know. It involves developing computer program to complete tasks which would otherwise require human intelligence. So this is very basic definition that we try to make computer think like a human being. So AI is used in many ways within the modern world. and like, for example, self-driving car, and many other tools that we use every day, like translation, for example, and voice recognition, and so on. So we will come to many of these tools soon. What is the difference between AI and usual and a traditional computer program? Actually, the difference is in general and traditional modeling that we have a data and we have a model, we have algorithm, we have a computer program that applied and get some result, some new finding. In AI, we have different model. We have a data and we have result, or at least expected result. The computer will generate the model first, will generate the method first. After that, apply this model to generate new data. So as you can see that this is a difference. This is show us the history of AI. Actually, AI is not new. The term artificial intelligence has been found almost 74 years ago. So the artificial intelligence is not new. Some people think that artificial intelligence just released 2, 3, 4 years ago. Actually, most of the algorithms, most of the models have been found and developed in some time ago, not recent. So this is some of the history. I remember some of these events. For example, the Deep Blue chess playing computer. I remember this one when this computer has been launched in 1997, and recently the ChatGPT, of course, make people aware. Actually, ChatGPT, the algorithm itself, is not new. But what is the new thing? So you may ask, why ChatGPT just released if the method is not new? There are two things. That number one is the big data was not available in the past. And number two is the GPU. Now, currently, we have a fast processing computers. So these two things are new. But the method itself of reading data, of analyzing data, is available in the past. But of course, there are a lot of development, I am sure, as you know, that a lot of enhancement in the algorithm, but the basic technique was none. These are current tools, the AI tools, too many new tools available for example, for data processing, for image processing, for voice recognition, and for human-computer interaction. And we will study some of these tools in this sharing session. So ChatGPT is an example of generative AI. What is the generative AI? Generative AI is a branch of AI that involves using algorithms and models to create a new and original content. So this type of AI can generate content that is not copied or replicated from existing data, but to produce something entirely new. So if we want to compare between traditional AI and generative AI, in general, traditional AI perform tasks that typically require human intelligence for a specific task, such as classification, prediction, clustering, decision-making, predefined rules, or pattern learn from data, like, for example, machine learning algorithm, natural language processing, computer visions, and etc. So in general, artificial intelligence don't generate entirely new content. But for generative AI, actually is a subset of AI focused on creating new data or content, new content that is similar to existing data. So generative AI models are capable of creativity and can produce novel content in various forums, such as images, text, music, videos. I believe in the second sharing session, we will see some example of these images, generative images, and so on. So generative AI has applications in diverse fields, such as art, entertainment, healthcare, cybersecurity, and so on. So how generative AI works? Generative AI works by training on large data set. And nowadays we have in the internet a very huge data. These data have been used to train the generative AI, including images, text, audios, and many other forms of data. And then use that training data to generate new content. It uses machine learning techniques such as deep learning, neural network, and reinforcement learning to learn pattern, structure, and feature from the training data, and then use that knowledge to create new content. For example, I asked ChatGPT, please continue the following sentence into 3 words. I went to my class and, so ChatGPT wrote, found it empty. I wrote again the same question. Please continue the following sentence. I went to my class and, so the ChatGPT answer, meet my professor. And then another time, sit down quietly. And then I try many other times. As you can see, ChatGPT have a lot of answers. And if you ask from your side, you will find a new data, new answer. It will not be replicated. So based on what? Based on probability. They analyze large data and they have probability of the answer after this sentence, I went to my class and, so they have a lot of answer, so they try to generate a new answer. So if we ask same question in my application, at the same time in your application, we will find totally a new result, a new data. But we should be aware about something, some terms that has been recently found. Hallucination of artificial intelligence. What does it mean? Is based on Wikipedia, is a response generated by AI which contains false or misleading information presented as a fact. So sometimes you ask a question, the answer is totally wrong. Something is totally incorrect. So this one can be happened, and I found it by myself. I especially in I try in my language, Arabic language. So I found some result is I don't know it came from where. So the primary focus of generative AI for customer experience, revenue growth, cost optimization, business continuity, and many other applications. These are some tools. Definitely ChatGPT is very popular, and we are going to present some of these tools in this sharing session. These are specifically in research. For literature review, some tools, we are going to explore some of these tools for writing assistance, for grammar and paraphrasing, for citation, illustration, for data, quantitative and qualitative, for productivity, many of these tools may be very popular for us, or maybe some of them are not really. As I mentioned before, that, for example, Google Translation actually is an AI tool. Grammarly, that our students always use. Canva, and for example, even some tools that I am going to show you today, like, for example, LinkedIn, like ResearchGate. Actually, those tools are AI-based to link between researcher, to find related topics to you, to suggest researcher to you, and something like that. So those also consider AI-based tools specifically for research. So now, how AI can assist in research? In many ways: enhancing literature review, efficient data collection and analysis, advanced data interpretation, streamlining experiment design, writing and editing assistant, enhancing collaboration and networking, security and ethical consideration. Let us try to explore one by one. For the literature review, using AI to identify key papers, trending topics, gap in the existing research. I will try also to present some of the tools for this regard. Also, in literature review, AI-powered tools like Semantic Scholar can quickly search through vast databases to find relevant literature. Tools like Research Rabbit help in organizing and categorizing research papers. This is for the first aspect. For efficient data collection and analysis, nowadays AI can be used for automate the collection of data from camera, data from sensor, data of internet users, to collect these data and from different sources, saving time, reducing errors, and then starting analyzing these data. AI tools can pre-process, clean, structure raw data for analysis, like, for example, IBM Western and RapidMiner. AI can also perform complex statistical analysis and generate visualization to help interpret data. We will find also some example. Advanced data interpretation. AI can analyze text data to extract meaningful insight, such as sentiment analysis or topic modeling, like, as you know, in natural language processing. AI can excel at recognizing pattern and trend within data that may not be immediately apparent to human researcher. In example, pattern recognition. AI can identify outlier and anomalies in dataset, which can be crucial for ensuring data integrity. Streamlining experiment design. AI can help design and optimize experiment by predicting outcome and suggesting improvement. Optimization. For example, we use, for example, genetic algorithm for optimization. Using AI to model complex system and test hypotheses before conducting physical experiment. For example, simulation of data. This is an example of AI simulation. Writing and editing, like, as I mentioned, Grammarly can help to improve the grammar, style, readability, structure, and so on. Use AI to detect plagiarism, like, for example, Turnitin, to ensure the originality. AI can assist in generating, summarize, abstract, and even suggesting references. Content generation. You summarize a meeting, writing a minute of the meeting, and so on. So also, as I mentioned, the collaboration and networking like ResearchGate, like academia, like LinkedIn, AI platform, connect researchers within similar interests and facilitate collaboration in research networking. Can suggest potential collaboration, idea exchange, community building, and so on. The most popular tools is ChatGPT, and I show you some example just now. Of course, I think all of you are having experience with ChatGPT, so I don't want to make use of it for today's session. I will skip this one. Okay, another session which is also important, consensus. This tool is a new breed of academic search engine powered by AI, grounded in science, find the best paper while getting instant insight. For example, I search, how can I make my class interesting? As you can see that my question here was very simple, and it's not a research hypothesis or research question, just a very simple question. How can I make my class interesting? Or you can ask about anything else. So the answer is list of papers, list of publications related to my question. And then I can summarize. Of course, I can filter, as you can see here, the based on year, based on citation, based on journal, based on domain. And then they can summarize for me the 10 papers, the summary of collection of papers. So as you can see here, the summary and also the analysis of the paper, of the 10 papers. So this is the summary, and this is the introduction and key insight, the 10 papers. I have if we have time, actually, I will, it's open with me here. So after I finish the presentation, I will open the tool and we see the more details. But let me continue the next tool. This one, connected papers. This is another tool for research and publication. And this connected paper is a website that provides a tool for exploring and visualizing academic papers and their relationship. Also, here I wrote the keywords, educational technology. When I search for this term, for this keywords, they show me list of papers that related to educational technology. So I just wrote the keywords, as you can see. Now, as you can see here, also I can download this PDF icon. I can download the paper if it's open source, if it's open access. I can download, I can check the DOI, I can check the Google Scholar. And also, as you can see, the first icon here, this is the green one. If you press here, you will get the connection between papers. So here, from here, you can see the research gap. You can see the link between papers. You can see which area that has not been discussed well. And I think let me continue. After that, I show you the tool in the browser. Okay, so another one is Coolboot. This tool, they have a lot of features for the paraphrasing, for grammar checker, for plagiarism, for summarizing the text, citation, translator. I just, the summary that I just got from here, I told you just now that we can summarize the 10 papers. So I just copy this one, I paste here, and then I can ask to expand, to shorten, to rewrite in academic form, informal, to write in a standard, and also how much I want to summarize or expand. I also can do. And then here another chat doc. This chat doc is I can chat with the document. So the paper I just I downloaded just now from the PDF icon I just show you. So I download one paper, and then I uploaded the paper, and I start making some chatting with the document. What's the new? What's the contribution? What's the problem that you are trying to solve? What's your key result? What you are trying to say here? What's the method has been used in this research? So I chat with the document. So this is another tool for Kahoot. Kahoot is, they have a lot of features. AI for research, write, read, analyze effectively. So they have, for example, I suggest interview question for, I want to know the readiness, this is I wrote, I want to know the readiness of use BI, business intelligence, in SME in Malaysia. So I just wrote this one. I want to know the readiness of use BI in SME in Malaysia. And then suggest interview question. So they suggested for me interview question and many other things that I can do. So finally, the other tool of today's session, Ansari Chat. You know what? One of the problem of generative AI, we cannot ask for very specific question. For example, if you ask who is the president of United States of America, or who is the first president of United States of America, they may generate name that it's totally wrong. This is one of the problem of generative AI. So when you ask about Quranic verses and hadith, I tried, especially for ChatGPT 3.5. Now ChatGPT 4 and 5 much better, but for 3.5, they generate new verses of Quran. So this Ansari.chat, at least they, when you ask any question, for example, I ask this question, please suggest a few Quranic verses and hadith related to mental health. I ask this question, and they show me some verses of Quran that corrected verses. How related to my topic? This is another story, maybe very related or maybe less related, but at least the verse of Quran is correct. The hadith they show is correct. So let me just stop my presentation for a while and present my my browser to show you some of these examples, because I just now, okay, I believe, okay, this is the browser. So as you can see, this is the first tool I use, consensus. So we write anything here, and then I wrote, how can I make my class interesting? As you can see here, the many papers related, and here you can see the summary of the papers, and also you can filter the papers and so on. This is the first tool we use today. And the second paper we use today is connected papers. These are the connected, as you can see, this button, the connected paper. This is PDF. You can download the papers from here if available. And here the publisher page and Google Scholar. So if you here for connected papers, you will get, for example, let me try this one. As you can see here, the link between papers. And then you can see the connection between different fields, and you can see the research gap. So each one of them is different paper based on number of citation. And then you can see that there is because here there is a reference between from this paper to this paper. So you can see that there is a link from this paper to this paper. There is a link because there is a reference. So here you can see the connection between papers, and you can see the links, and you can see the research gap. And this is the paper that I downloaded and then I uploaded to this cool boot. And here, as you can see, the text that I inserted, and I start rephrase and make it, for example, here, expand. I press expand, as you can see, and then I want to change this one. I make it more change, and then I ask for maybe to short it, and I make it more formal. So these studies indicate that the use of variety of instructional strategies and so on. I make it more academic. These studies indicate that enhancing the appeal of a class may be achieved by using a variety of teaching, so on. I make it simple. According to these studies, making a class interesting can mean using a variety of teaching methods, and so on. As you can see, this is an example, and you can see here we have many other tools: a grammar checker, AI detector, plagiarism checker, summarizer, translation, citation, and so on. And the other tools that we tested today is ChatDoc. Here, the paper that I uploaded and the question that I asked: what's the new of this paper? Please summarize the method used in this paper. And then you can choose one section and ask a question about the section, for example, limitation. And then press here and ask a question. What is the new thing? Please suggest, for example, the question I ask, please suggest future work. And then they suggested future work. And then the other tools I show you just now for suggesting interview questions. Here, as you can see, we can do many other things, not only suggesting interview questions, survey question, analyze data, analyze interview. For example, plan my study, research proposal. They can write research proposal, full research proposal, research question, research objective, suggest a method and hypothesis, and so on. So all these tools are available. Write a literature review, write method, write abstract, write conclusion, write result, write discussion. Of course, all these tools should be used as supporting tools, not to replace you, but to support your research. And then finally, I show you here the Ansari. So I wrote here, please suggest a few Quranic verses or hadith related to mental health. You can see here the list. So these are some tools that I wanted to show you today. So let me go back to my slides. Please let me know how many more minutes I have.
2 more minutes, Prof.
Okay. So 2 more minutes. So let me open slide and try to conclude. Sorry. So just I want to show you some what we can do and what we cannot do with AI. As you know, that with AI we can generate a quick result, scan large database, find mathematical, logical solution, make decision based. But what AI cannot do, generate result in novel situation, develop on unique insight, think intuitively and abstractly, engage in social interaction and communication, have emotional intelligence. So many things that AI cannot do. So we need to know that ChatGPT cannot do everything, because some of our students, they really rely and depend on these AI tools. So we need to understand that there are a lot of limitations. If we want to compare between based on this reference between AI and the human intelligence, AI need million of samples, a huge database, but the human intelligence able to learn a new concept and ideas from a small number of samples, or sometimes single one. We are able to make a scenario or case study. The AI able to recite, recall information that was presented or generated before, but human being able to form ideas, mental ideas that is not present, not exist in the past. Also, most of AI systems don't possess multi-models learning ability, but the human being quickly integrate information from all of our senses and use that perception to make decision, and the average of a human is able to incorporate multi-model inputs and create multi-model output. I don't want to these are some of research topic in generative AI for image synthesis, for text modeling, for audio and speech synthesis, for data generation, for human-computer interaction, for creating and augmentation, for social implication and of generative AI. So these are many tools that for converting voice to text, for summarizing YouTube lectures and videos, translating videos, and converting text to voice, voice to text, and research tools, as we discussed just now. Many tools are available in the market. Finally, we should not forget and skip the ethical issues which related to AI, because AI rely on the data. If the data is incomplete, if the data is wrong, if there is any bias in the data, so definitely the result also will not be correct. So we should also think about the privacy. We should consider the ethical issues related to AI. So with that, I will end here. And if there is any question or any input or feedback, I am very happy to incorporate. Thank you very much, and sorry for taking more time.
Thank you very much, Prof. Akram. Actually, I don't want to stop you because the topic is very interesting, but we have the second speaker. So thank you very much for your excellent presentation. So for participant, if you have question, you can wait until the second speaker finish, or you can write your question on the meeting chat. Later, we will address your question. Okay. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our second speaker, Associate Professor Mahmud Iwan Solihin. So before we begin, let me share a brief biography of Associate Professor Iwan. So Associate Professor Dr. IR Mahmud Iwan Solihin is an Associate Professor in Mechatronics Engineering Department of UCSI University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. His research interests are in application of artificial intelligence, including computer vision, data-driven spectroscopy, meta-heuristic optimization, robotics, and control system. In the past, he was a research assistant for eScience Fund project under MOSTI, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, Malaysia. He is also professional member of the Institution of Engineers of Indonesia and recognized by AFEO, ASEAN Federation of Engineering Organization, and APEC Engineer. He has been involved in some research projects such as from MOHE, Ministry of Higher Education, research collaboration and consultancy with the NB project or Unit 10 for data-driven modeling in various fields including food science or agriculture, water resource management, and engineering system. He has published more than 100 journal papers and international conference proceedings with Scopus High Index of 15. Currently, his postgraduate supervision are focusing on computer vision. Okay, please join me in welcoming Associate Professor Mahmud Iwan Solihin to start his presentation.
Okay, Assalamualaikum, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Dr. Dini, for the time, and thank you for Prof. Teddy from CIS Indonesia, Nusa University, for inviting me as a speaker tonight. So thank you everyone for participating in this topic. My talk will not be long like Dr. Akram. Okay, I know this is Saturday night, and Dr. Dini asking me to have a bit technical, not to make you sleepy. Okay, so I share my slide. So I'll share a slightly technical on image classification. And it will take maybe like 20 minutes. Okay, so this is the topics, image embedding using deep learning and image classification. Okay, so because recently I have some student in machine vision doing machine vision, so let me share. Did I share my screen? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Screen, I just share screen. Okay. Okay. So I have some postgraduate student doing machine vision, so that's why at the moment I have some topic in machine vision. Okay, and then I found out that this something short and interesting to share with you, especially for the student who are interested in some sort of research and want to make a project, right? So before the content, I introduce myself as already introduced that I'm from UCS University in Malaysia, from a Catholic background, and this is my campus at Seras, Kuala Lumpur. Okay, it's like quite near to city center. Okay, so now can see everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Can you
okay.
your slide maybe, Dr. Iwan, so make it bigger?
Full screen, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So in computer vision or machine vision tasks, actually, mainly we have this main task, right? Which is simplest one is classification, right? And the more interesting one, I think, is object detection, but it's more challenging. Okay, including image segmentation and instance segmentations, right? So I'm not talking more about the rest of it. So I will focus on the classification, right? With, of course, as we know, in classification is the most popular one is CNN, convolutional neural network. In object detection, we have YOLO, right, algorithm. In segmentation, we may have like UNet algorithms, right? So as the CNN is the most famous, okay, algorithms, then in CNN, I think we understand that it involves some step, right, which is feature extractor using convolution and poolings, and that we have classification. We have a traditional classifier, right? Like, for example, so this one is from the traditional machine learning. We have feature extractor, and then become vector, and then we have machine learning. But when we use CNN, deep learning, actually all of these are being integrated into one, right? Okay, so as we know, the image actually is in a computer, we just see as a metric, right? Tensor. For example, if we have RGB image, we have 3 channels, right? If we have grayscale or black-white image, it's become 1 channel, right? If we have hyperspectra image, we have multiple channels, more than 3, can be up to hundreds even, right? Hyperspectra. Okay, so the meaning of image embedding itself is actually technically it's convert metric into vectors. Okay, technically it will convert metric into vectors. So that's mean through this feature extractor part, the deep learning will do the image embedding that I'm going to demonstrate later. Okay, I'll do the quick demo later. Okay, so as you know, this structure of CNN, convolution and pooling, and this is the one that do feature extraction from the image as a matrix to become another matrix and then flatten into vectors. And this is the output of image embedding that we can put into in a CNN. Of course, we use neural networks here, right? Artificial neural network with neuron number and so on. And then we go through the softmax function to produce the classification probability output, right? But later, I'm going to just demo that I'm going to use input image and do this part only. And then this classifier, I can replace with any classifier instead of neural networks. That's mean if you use neural network, it's mean become CNN, right? But you can replace to any other machine learning algorithms here. That's mean here is actually the image embedding part, and this become combined with machine learning classification or classifier here. So later I will just use any machine learning algorithm other than neural networks, right? So in my demo later, I'm going to use this software. I'm going to choose the SqueezeNet pre-trained neural network, pre-trained deep learning as the feature extractor, which produce, at the end is produce 1,000 vectors, right? So the size of 1,000, right? From the input image. So I'm going to do this and this will be the end of my presentation, right? But will take maybe a few minutes to run it, okay? And after that will be a Q&A. So in my folder, I have this image data, okay, of flowers. So usually when we do classification, the image will be presented as a folder here, that this folder name represent the class or category names. And here we have how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 or 10. I can see from here actually. So I can see from here. Okay, maybe I repeat from the beginning. This will be quick. I have and here we have in the orange data meaning. This one can see, right, everyone? Can see my software, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Right. So this one, I have the flower. Okay, I load the flower folder, which contain just now 10 data info. I think 10 class, right? 10 classes, yes, here 10 classes, right? And total is, I think, 700, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so you can see the image viewer here. Okay. So we have around 700, I think 733. Okay, belong to the 10 classes just now. Okay. And then, okay, this is just to see the image. And then now we want to do image embedding. And this is the one that deep learning doing. And I choose this SqueezeNet because this one is faster. Otherwise, we have to wait longer. So I just choose the SqueezeNet. And because SqueezeNet is quite a complex algorithm, so we'll take maybe less than 1 minute to do the image embedding. Okay. And I can show the outcome as tabular data later. So that means originally image is matrix, So converted into vector, right? And this is called image embedding. We have also in NLP word embeddings, meaning the representation of vector from language, right? I think I'm not doing it deep the NLP yet, but I also have seen that terms, image, word embeddings. Now we have image embeddings, right? So we'll see later, not finished yet. That the output become 1,000 vectors, the size of 1,000, right? Okay, we can see almost done. Of course, this software is not strong in deep learning, just because it has some small portion that I can demonstrate tonight, then I use it. Okay, the strength of this software is still more on machine learning, tabular data, right? Okay, now done. So we can see now this one is the information of the image, right? From the different class of different type of flowers, right? Bougainville, daisy, gardenia, and so on. Okay, and then now you look at this one. This is the vector, okay, that contain the information or the output of the embedded image, right? So this one still loading. From N0 to N99, that's mean 1,000, size of 1,000, right? Because the SqueezeNet output is, the final output is of size 1,000. Okay, I think it's loading. I cannot do anything yet. Okay, you can see here 1,000 features, right? So it's become feature into the machine learning. So I think the last one is 999, right? Okay. So now, as usual in deep learning, machine learning simulation, we have to split the data into training and testing. So I split, let's say 70%. I can see here as for training and the remaining for testing. Remaining data for testing, 30%, right? So here we'll have like 500, right? And here we have around 200, okay? So now this one is feature extraction process through image embedding, and now I can fit into any machine learning, right? So let's say I'm using two different, which is low level and high level, which is, for example, KNN, K nearest neighbor, and I make it, I show the prediction and I show the confusion metric as the evaluation of accuracy, right? And I do this connection. Okay, sorry. This should be here, okay. And we can see the output. And this one, I think, not very high accuracy. I mean, let's see how much accuracy. So it's 0.8, right? Okay. Let's say I'm using the high-end one, which is like random forest is a very good one usually. Okay, so I do for random forest. Okay, and right, and then we can see the comparison random forest, and so I'm sure that random forest is better. Okay, like in here we have 100% for random forest, right? Maybe overfitting, but let's see. Okay, so now I can test. So using this, put into test data, and I use this to train algorithms, right? See the confusion matrix and see the accuracy. Testing accuracy, I think random forest is again better than KNN as expected, right? And you can see, for example, the confusion matrix is like this. There are some quite number of error. Like for example, this, let's say that I select this, there are 4 samples of grosses, right? And predicted as peony, right? So if we can see, I saw the data that has been wrongly predicted here. So this is grosses all, but predicted as peony. So maybe this one, the algorithm has some confusion on it, right? Okay, for this even random forest, right? If we can see here, the grosses, okay, let's see. Okay, this is the one that is wrongly predicted. And okay, this is the one that wrongly predicted. And we can see here, maybe the peony here, just now, maybe similar. Okay, that's why not very good in classifying. Okay, you see, maybe this one peony is similar to this, right? So that's why is getting confused, right? Unlike, for example, tulip is very much different, right, compared to those two from peony and grossis just now. Okay, I think that's all. This is the insight of this presentation. You can, if you have some simple project of image classification, I think you can change this one. Okay, if you use neural network, it become CNN back, right? Actually, if you use neural network, it's become back as a convolutional neural network because filter extractor plus ANN, right? But here I'm using other than neural networks, which mean like hybrids, feature extractor plus machine learning. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Hope this short presentation we can learn some things. I return to Dr. Dini.
Thank you very much, Dr. Iwan. So it's more to hands-on presentation, yeah. So also interesting for me. Now we open for question and answer session. So for participant, if you have question, you can raise your hand, or you can write your question on the meeting chat. Okay, maybe first question from okay, from Prof. Teddy. Please, Prof. Maybe I will be the second.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Dini. Thank you very much, Prof. Akram, for a very nice presentation, and also Dr. Iwan. Yeah, very nice and brief. What do you call it?
Hands-on.
Demo, yeah, like tutorial. Very nice one. Easy, but sometimes we need to have the deep understanding, by the way, in terms of the concept. Yeah. So to Prof. Akram, as the academician, sometimes we need to review a lot of paper. All right. Recently, usually I use couple tools. Sometimes we develop also our own tools, even though the model we're using the certain model that they have over there, yeah, using OpenAI or others. So my question actually here for Prof. Akram, do you have any good tools that, for example, if we assign to review a paper, then we can get a very nice result to do a review paper? That's number one, yeah, Prof. Akram. Second one, usually we are not allowed to the student. We really recommend for the student to use any tools of AI. Yeah? But when we come to the exam, we don't want them to use the generative AI especially, right? So do you have any good tools to check directly whether the student using generative AI tools or not? Because currently, if we use, I have some collection also, by the way, if we use like what you call Turnitin, for example, we cannot see the detail, yeah. So there's another tool also, originality and so on and so forth. But what I'm looking for at the moment, the tools, for example, I have 10 students, they write the same topic, and we want to see the weight between one student and the other student, and then we want to check also whether they, when they do it, they also, actually they don't use any ChatGPT tools, for example. So that's the question, Prof. Akram, 2 questions. So while I'm here, so let me have another question also, very quick question to Dr. Iwan. So Pak Iwan, Dr. Iwan, my question is quite simple. Assume you have 100% data, right? Currently you have like 80 and 20%, right? The active, you're going to create the model, the other one 20% to create the test. So is there any best way to find what is the percentage that we going to use? Because for example, yeah, currently I'm usually what I did at the moment, I compare between, for example, 90 and 10, for example, right? And then 80 and 20 and 70 and 40 and so on, basically, right? So that one is not good approach. This should set like that, like manually, what you got? I redo it for every single thing, basically. Yeah. So my question is there any way to get the maximum, what you call it? The maximum result in terms of the model, yeah, to get the good result. I think you got my point. So thank you very much, Dr. Tini, for the quick question from my side. Thank you.
So, Dr. Dini, shall we answer, or you want to collect more questions?
I think we can collect for now. Continue with Pak Hari. Pak Hari already raised his hand. Yes, Pak Hari, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I have a question for Putra. Sir, I saw from one of your presentations that
sorry, Pak Hari, can you speak louder? We cannot hear your voice.
We cannot hear you, Pak Hari.
I have a question for Professor Akram. I saw in one of your presentation page that artificial intelligence cannot have emotional intelligence. But I have tried to input to ChatGPT like 2 paragraphs of a very sad story that I made it myself, that I have written myself. And I asked the opinion of the ChatGPT. And it said that I have written a very good sad story. So does it show that it is a kind of emotional intelligence? But if it is not, what kind of intelligence that ChatGPT has, so it can conclude, it can have a like assessment that my story is a very sad one. That's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hari. Okay, Prof, I think we can proceed with 2 questions first.
Thank you very much. First question from Prof. Teddy. Thank you, Prof, for this question. For the second question about reviewing papers, I think ChatDoc is one of the good tool to review papers. So you can ask, you can chat with the document, you can write what is the limitation, what is the weaknesses, what is the problem of this paper, how to improve this paper, what is the suggestion of improvement, and something like this. So they will, you will get a lot of answers. So this one of the good tools for reviewing papers and so on. Besides that, of course, ChatGPT also you can upload the paper and also ask similar questions. So this is for second question. For the first question about the student, yes, actually this is an open problem. So nowadays the students are relying on ChatGPT and other tools to write their assignments, their homeworks. The first tool, and I can see in the classroom, sometimes I ask them a question, they immediately open ChatGPT in their mobiles and start chatting with the tool. So this is an open problem. I don't have solution, but what I can suggest is to make evaluation not based on write-up, but based on presentation, based on communication skills, based on Q&A and discussion. So this, at least you know whether they understood. We cannot stop them using these tools, but at least we know that they understood what the topic and so on. So this is about the evaluation of student, but definitely we cannot stop them. And sometimes we can ask them to use in some questions, especially opening questions. We can ask ChatGPT and try to discuss in the class with your friend about this topic and so on. So we can embed the AI tools in the classroom. Otherwise, we'll face a lot of problem. And as well as in the exam, if the exam is closed book, so so it will be a different story. So this is about the student, but of course I don't have a complete answer. I also face the same problem with my student. About the second question from Mr. Harry about if I understood the question correctly about emotional intelligence of AI. Actually, what we see today is tomorrow we will see something new. So if I say today AI cannot do this matter, tomorrow we will see another story and we will find another solution. So yes, there is a lot of improvement. So a lot of enhancement in AI every day. But what I mean here by actually by emotional intelligence, that yes, the AI may show some emotional intelligence, but in reality they don't have it. So if you go in deep, you will find that at the end you are chatting with the machine. So whether to which extent they can deal with, for example, patient, with the elderly. So this is another story. There is some limitation. So we cannot rely 100% on AI or this kind of issue, if I understood your question correctly. So I can see improvement, a lot of improvement, but there is some limitation that AI cannot do. Thank you.
Dr. Dini, can I respond to the answer from Prof. Akram, please?
Yes, please, Prof.
Yes. Prof. Akram, yeah, actually I try already couple type of we cannot use ChatGPT to review a paper, by the way, not easy, yeah, especially for the free one. But if you, like you mentioned previously, if you're using like ChatDoc and then the pay one, yeah, chat PDF, for example, we need to pay a little bit money, by the way. And really unfortunate when I submit couple papers, for example, especially long papers, when we ask for the review, so I can see in the end, after trying many paper to review, they have a pattern on how they review. And you know what happened is, in my experience before, I'm not satisfied with the way they review, because the quality of the review is not good in terms of based on my understanding. So that's why I'm looking for the tools in a specific domain, for example. So when we submit, we upload a certain data. So then when we got the review, then okay, this is something, make some other people who read my review become like, oh, okay, this is a good direction for their work, for example. So I don't get the one, yeah. That's the first one. Second one, the second question actually that I asked to you in relation to for example, I have 10 students, like I mentioned earlier, they submit the same problem, all right? The essay problem. Now I want to rank them. Which one is the best among the 10? So is the rank 2, and this in terms of the content, not in terms of the grammatical matters, yeah. So the meaning, the feeling also. So can we have the kind of tool also? Is there any tool available that we can use? Yeah, that's the question actually, Dr. Dini, that I raised at the moment. Thank you, Dr. Dini.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. Teddy. Thank you very much. Actually, I agree with you about. I also not satisfied with reviewing, and they keep repeating same thing. although the paper
This
totally different fields,
Yeah.
but they keep repeating. So as you can see that at the end, this is a machine, just so it's
Yeah.
not a human being. So I also
Yeah.
having the same feeling. This is about the reviewing paper. So, but anyway, I keep asking different questions. I ask what's the limitation, what's the weaknesses, what do you evaluate, can you evaluate, what's more, can you, what about this? So I ask until I get something at least to some extent. It's good enough. But definitely, I totally agree with you. And also some of the tools now, like Turnitin and other tools that I showed today, they also can find the plagiarism in the AI generated content. But of course, if the student or user very smart and ask ChatGPT, can you write unique and novel essay, it will be more difficult. Also, it will be very difficult to detect. So about the question of evaluating student work. One of the tools that I just presented, but of course it has a lot of limitation. It was about evaluating student work. Let me try to find it now. Actually, this is based on the tools, but what my suggestion, if we can develop some tool by ourselves, but the first thing we need to find a benchmark. For example, we should have, let us say, papers or report are very good, that it's standard first, and then these papers, these 10 papers, let us say, we can benchmark with them. So this one we can evaluate, but otherwise, how to evaluate? Because the AI tools, they cannot evaluate between two papers. Based on what? So we need to have a benchmark first. Based on this grade student, just now I presented one, just very fast, let me share with you.
Yes,
this one, yeah. So you can see grade this student. So this one, I mean, you need to, of course, upload first the work, and then grade this student here. So this one somehow can work, but to some extent, of course, out of limitation. I don't know what's the base for evaluating student, but at the end, there is some, you can get some result. So yeah, this is what's available for now. But of course, if we can develop something by ourselves and upload some papers first, we can do it indirectly. We upload the paper in ChatGPT and we said, this is our benchmark. And then we can ask another question, can you evaluate this paper based on the benchmark? But of course, the result is not fine. You will not be satisfied with the result. But this is what's available for now. Thank you very much. Again, I don't have answer actually, Prof.
Sure, understood. This is not easy also, Dr. Akraf.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. Yep. Understood. Thank you. Dr. Dini.
Okay, and Pak Hari, is the answer from Prof. Akram answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Iwan, can continue?
Okay. Yes, now I think Prof tadi asking about the ratio of training testing data and so on, by 80, 70%, and so on. I think that is just a rule of thumb, right? And there is no, in paper also doing, in journal paper, they do always like that. Otherwise, if we we are not convinced with that approach, I think we can use, like, for example, the cross-validation approach to get the sort of the assessing that the model is working well for that particular data set. And then we can, for deployment application, I think we can just retrain the other model, because if the cross-validation is working well, then we just train one model for the deployment. But I think that's the other approach. I think this I cannot find also the this one. I think the more important is in the model development is, I think, the hyperparameter tuning one, other than the playing with the ratio of the training testing amount. I think the hyperparameter tuning is the more crucial to do. I think that's my point. Okay, thank you, Prof.
Yeah. Thank you, Prof. Can I reply for that, Pak Budini? Yeah. So, Pak Dr. Iwan, usually what happens is, say for example, we have our student, master student or PhD student, okay?
Mhm.
They do some machine learning stuff and suddenly they choose between 80 and 20%, for example. Then usually the examiner will ask, why do you choose 80, not 90? Is it the optimum solution one, right? And after some time, the supervisor mentioned, okay, then they try to do like what I just mentioned previously, 90 and 10 and so on. This is randomly. They try for 4 or 5 times. And then after that, they say like, oh, maybe this is the best one. But still maybe there because, you know, they did not create some certain big loop from something to something, right? And maybe also there is some, for example, in the end, they got like the best one, for example, 85, but actually not really 85, maybe 85 point something, you know, that's that's one thing, right? So assume now we can get the maximum number of the data they can create the model, all right? Example 80 is the best model, for example, compared to 90 or 70, for example, right? Now, this is also another case. After we decide, like, okay, the what you call it, the percentage, yeah, of the correctness greater than 80%, say, for example. Then after some time, we don't need to do the test, right? Because we're comparing with the label, basically, right? Yeah. Then we got all the result. Now, after some time, we going to use the model, and then we come up to use that model, all right? And then the first data, second data, and so on, right? And or certain time also, 1 month, 2 months, we still use the same model. Until one day, the user feel like, oh, okay, why the answer become like this, yeah? So then the user will have the feeling, oh, maybe the correctness is not true anymore. Nowadays, the way people do, when they got the feeling like the answer is not good, so they create the new data with the new label, and then they combine it all together, for example,
Retrain.
and then they learn, and they can create another new model, right? Now, my point is this, really not valid, we using AI when everything based on the feeling. The question here is there any way when we do when we use the model, and the model can give us a good response that, okay, this one still acceptable, but after some time this is not acceptable anymore, then you need to create the new model by feeding the new data. Do you have a good approach to do so?
Okay, I think my response is Prof, because it's like artificial intelligence means like imitating the human intellect to make decision, right? And human also learn from experience. We have new experience, we have new learning. So for me, if we have new data, of course, we need to retrain. That's okay, fine. But maybe playing with the 80-20% is not the best way. So I think the hyperparameter tuning, meaning the optimizing the model through hyperparameter tuning, is the better approach. And maybe we can use, instead of the fixed proportion, we can use the cross-validation model, right? To learn the whole data, and then create one more model for deployment. During the deployment, I think the learning or retrain the model when that new data coming is okay. Just that we need to, as because human also will do that one, right? We have new experience, we have new learning, and so on. Okay, I think that's my opinion.
Thank
So,
you, Pak. Yeah,
okay,
thank you, Pak Iwan.
okay.
Currently, we have some. I mean, I have with my team basically, right? So we collect the data, scraping the data from the media online. All right. So the way we do, we categorize become 5. Whether this information they related with the ideology, for example, with the politics, with the economic matters, right? One, we manage to categorize them. We using the kind of approach basically. We compare between 80, 90, 70, 60. Then we decide, oh, this is the best one. Then we use that. So the first level, what I'm trying to say actually, the categorization, we use several level. After we got like from one article, we know that the one is under the category of economic. Under the economic, there's another category again. All right. For example, the economic of something. And then from there, there's still another almost similar algorithm. Okay. But actually, in terms of the process, the model that we have seems to be like fixed model, basically. Right. So when we have so many brands of the model, okay, so after we do some selection, we go to the subcategories of it. After we go to one certain subcategory, there's subcategories again. Say, for example, 3 level like that. Now, this is the case. If, for example, in the first categorization was, we got like in the incorrect one, then actually the 3 already, already fall. So my point here is if we can find a way on how to find always the optimized situation, then maybe all the 3 will be come to the optimal situation. So I think that the current problem
Yes.
that we have at the
Yes.
moment.
I think we have to combine
satisfy
with
the user.
we have,
That's the objective. Yeah.
yeah, we have to always combine with optimization, I think, to have the optimum model, because per se using the tool, sometimes maybe it's not much deep optimization involved. I think I'm not sure about the industrial real application yet also. That just this is from the researcher perspective.
Understood. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rinus. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Teddy and Dr. Iwan. I also open the another question from participant. Maybe from me. Okay, Prof. Akram. So some of the tools is new for me. So I want to know whether the tools is free or we need to subscribe for the tools. And if we can, how to say, if we have to compare, if we spend some money for the paid tools, is the result is more accurate compared to the free one. I think one question for Prof. Akram and another question for Dr. Iwan. Dr. Iwan, for Orange, the Orange is a free tool, so I want to know whether Orange have the limitation, like number of data set that we have to provide because it's the limitation from the tool itself, and also for the generated model from Orange, can we use the model direct to, for example, we want to create the mobile apps. So can we use the generated model from Orange to the apps itself? Yeah, to generate the apps. Yeah. Okay, I think. Okay, that's my question. Any other question from participant? Okay, I have the direct message to answer the question. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Bayu. Okay, maybe no more question. Prof. Akram and Dr. Iwan can answer my question.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Dini. Regarding the question about subscription of these tools, the tools that I presented, except of Poolbot. This is only the one that I have a registered account with some fees, but all other tools I presented are free of charge. I mean, not free of charge, but at least for free trial. Of course, if you want to do more work and ask more questions, there is some limitation that you need to pay. But at least for today, all those tools, chat docs, and connected papers, I show free account. But you need to register, of course. But for the limited use, so it's a free of charge. Like ChatGPT also. Now, the current ChatGPT, they use ChatGPT 4 for free, but for certain inquiry. After that, you need they will forward you to 3.5. If you ask many questions, they will forward you to 3.5 unless you subscribe and pay more money. I don't know. It depends on your use. If you are a very heavy user, I think you cannot rely on a free one. But if you are very simple use, especially for us, we completed our PhD, so we don't really need to go very deep in using of these tools. So I cannot answer whether need to register and pay some invest some money. It depends on your use. You try first. After that, if you think that this tool is very useful for you and you need to subscribe and pay some money, I think all of them are very useful, and the subscription fees are very small. So if you want to use, I don't think this is a problem at all.
All right, thank you, Prof.
Okay, I think I can answer to the question, right? So the first question is about the capacity of if we have many data. I think it become heavier when we have more data. Like last time, I tried to run with tabular data, which is around 1 million. So to load just now, I think load image just now only less than 1,000 is, I think, less than 1 minute. But when I use like 1 million data, just not even image data, only tabular data, it take like 5 minutes only to load the data, for example. So it's getting more sluggish. And then also the model, I think, of course, we can deploy into, because the model can be saved into Python model, H5, and then we can convert into different format also with the Python programming. I think we can deploy into application. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Iwan.
Thank you.
Any other question from participant? I think it's already 10:16 in Kuala Lumpur. Can we conclude this webinar, Prof?
Yes, but can I have like 1 or 2 minutes before we
Yes,
close? I just want
of
to share
course.
something. Yeah.
All right.
Actually, this is for everybody. Yeah. Some of them maybe already know. I saw also a couple of the attendants was my student also. So this is actually the question that I asked to Prof. Akram about the plagiarism. All right. Currently, I have a couple of tools. I use a couple of tools that I collect from the internet. I try it to check the level of plagiarism. The tools sometimes give me a good result. But again, the tools that I'm looking for is to grading. Yeah. For example, like I mentioned earlier, I have like, can you see my sharing screen here? So this is some what I call as some GPT chat GPT checker. So we can use zero GPT, yeah, copy link, for example. This is all the thing we can compare it basically. So if the student, for example, they're doing the they're creating this homework or assignment using ChatGPT or the like. So using this kind of tools usually easily to find them. All right. But again, the next problem, not the next problem, really really tedious actually. When, for example, I have like 40 students, they're writing some certain approach by their own, okay, and I want to compare among them, reading one by one, quite tedious. So we're looking for a tools that we can, like if I have 10 students answer the same question with different essay, okay, so I want to compare the quality of their work. So I still couldn't find it at the moment. The way we do, we need to upload in one go the 10 answer of the student, and then we want to get the result from them. Yeah. So other than that, Budini, I just want to share also for 1 or 2 minutes to everyone here. I think some of the students who joined my class, they know already. And also this slide, just 2 minutes, I already sharing last years. Yeah, I just want to sharing in this community again because I saw a couple of them was not join us at the time. All right. So just a moment, let me go again to here. I think some of you already knows about that. Yeah. So I create some approach. Let me start from this part. Yeah. Just a moment. I think I sharing already this matter before, so I just want to share briefly. So this is about the defect, all right? So the way I do, I develop coding. This is the coding that I develop using, for example, Google Colabs, okay? How do I do this? So at the moment I pay for 35,000 rupiah, 35.000 to buy the Google Drive only, all right? And then I try to find the model. This woman is not there, but I interest with the detail of it. So I'm using this kind of model, the Magic Mix Realistic. This one only 2.4, I think, gigabyte. Then I download, I put it inside of this Google Drive, right? Then the processing that I can choose using GPU and using the Stable Diffusion. And this is the realistic model. So this is the sample of the code. Based on this code, usually we can create this kind of, this is a representation of the code itself, right? This is what we call as prompt. This is positive prompt, this is negative prompt. So since, for example, the Donald Trump, everybody knows Donald Trump, and inside of the data also there is a picture of Donald Trump. Without any input, we can generate. We put like Donald Trump in the jail, for example. He is not in the jail, but we can generate this kind of picture. All right. And then the other one, I try to, this is my colleague, this is the current situation of him, Prof. Dadan. And then I want to know what happened if, what kind of the face if he is, for example, 90 years old, and this one when he was something. So I start to build this by giving one input and then putting the negative and positive prompt that we developed previously. So in the end, we have the youngest like this, or we have the oldest like this one. This is my other colleague. Sometimes we got the, what you call the artifact. Yeah, this is the sample of the artifact, and we want to remove the artifact. Or sometimes, for example, there's a badge. I want to remove this kind of badge in a certain picture using AI, of course, right? So after some time, we play around with a lot of variable here. So in the end, we can remove it. This is considered, if you go to the detail, there's still, yeah, but for the normal eyes, it's already hard to find the what do you call it, the artifact. And this is example of mine. This is the other defect in Pentagon at the time. Who this is not exist, by the way, but what happened is when this happened, what you call, there is some economic matters was impact because of this defect. All right. And this is this one also. So for this part, I put like 2 input basically. So this is, as everybody knows, this is the president of US previously, Donald Trump. And this one, because this is a flag, maybe this is the next president of the US, maybe. Yeah, we don't know. So the way we do, we have some reference point here, and this is mine. Okay, so we want to put it inside there. So in the end, we have this kind of page. Okay, so of course we can generate many times, and then we use the instruction here. So I mentioned, for example, inside here, please act as the clever guy, processing and doing as smooth as possible, for example, and combine among these two. Okay, and then keep the hair the same like the preference point, for example, and so on. Yeah. So we need to be clever also inside of when we put inside of this prompt. But again, the prompt was developed by the coding that I mentioned previously. Okay, so and in the end we can create with this is without any limit. The limit is in your mind, of course, and you can create whatever that you like. You can fly. You can have a half of you will be your face, but the half will be a banana tree, for example. This can happen. You can make it also, right? This is my other experiment. The way we do this is the fake image basically. The Donald Trump with this fake image was generated by other people, so I just using it. Then I try to change this face using my face. This is the example that I do. So this is already my face now, and I can move there. I can move here. I can move there. I can move there. Even I can move here, right? So and so on. Yeah. So this is me in the front of them, or I become the victim, for example. So okay. So for this, of course, then you need to do some other stuff. All right. So we can do also in the video also. Yeah. So yeah, this is, for example, the reference point, and this is the thing. Of course, we need to change some couple variable there, and we need to change something. All right. So everyone, just sharing a little bit for you. This is actually what we learned from AI. While I mentioned about this thing, I just want to highlight one thing that in our university, I'm a part of a School of Computer Science at the moment. So inside here, I have a couple of the lecturer, including sometimes Bu Dini also sharing in the part-time basis sometimes, yeah. And also Pak Umar also. So I think Dr. Akram know Pak Umar and also Dr. Ahmad, yeah. So they are with the background of AI. We have a school of AI. So for those who are interested to study with us, just in case doing master degree or undergraduate degree, so this coming semester we are open for that, yeah. So the thing that I just mentioned just now, we learn also in the class, all right? So of course, a lot of things still there. Of course, we cannot create like a robot with as clever as Dr. Iwan, for example. No, we cannot do that, of course. That's impossible yet for the moment, all right? But later on, when Pak Iwan with us, I don't know, maybe we can create this kind of,
No.
I don't know, something that change the landscape of the world. That's what we expect, all right? So I think that's all a little bit of my sharing for tonight, Bu Dini. So I back again to Bu Dini. Thank you, everyone. That one is not my closing statement, ya, Bu Dini.
Yeah. So you still have your closing statement, ya, Prof. So thank you very much for all the participants for the question and answer session, also from Prof. Akram and Dr. Iwan. So I would like to express my gratitude to both Prof. Akram and also Dr. Iwan for the valuable presentation, and your contribution have greatly enriched our understanding of the topic discussed today. So to formally close our webinar, now I would like to invite Prof. Teddy to deliver the closing remark.
Yeah, this will be very brief, Dr. Dini, because I already say something before. So first of all, Prof. Akram, thank you very much for come to our invitation, yeah, to sharing your knowledge. They're very insightful for us. Also, of course, to Associate Prof. Dr. Iwan. So really looking forward, yeah, to collaborate with both of you again as usual. Prof. Akram come to Indonesia several times. Last time we invite him as the keynote speaker in 1 hour conference in Semarang. So thank you very much also for that, Prof. Akram. So everyone in this webinar, we looking for your work, yeah. in our school, we interest in 2 areas. One is in AI, the other one in cybersecurity. So I expect in the next round, if that's possible, so we are going to running the 3rd webinar in cybersecurity. I'm looking for example, if you have some good knowledge, as everybody knows, in Indonesia currently we have the huge incident, a lot of problem there in PDN, in some other data breach and so on. So, and they're working with the malware, for example. So I'm looking for someone in this community. If you have some work, some experience with that, please contact us, contact me, contact Dr. Dini, or contact our school, SoCS at Nusa Putra IC So then we're happy to have you to share with us in this forum. Okay, so and also from other countries, from Malaysia, from others also, if they are around. So with that, again, thank you to everyone to come to this webinar. Hopefully we can meet again in the other 2 weeks from today. And also thank you for our admin staff to preparing all the background and all the flyer and so on and spread out to everywhere. All right. So with that, again, thank you very much. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to Bu Dini.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So thank you, Prof. Teddy, for the closing remark. Before we officially end today's webinar, we would like to present certificate of appreciation to our esteemed speaker. So please allow me to share my screen. Okay.
Hi.
Okay, thank you
All right.
very much.
So I'm grateful for your participation, and later the certificate will send direct to you. And we are grateful for all the participate who joined this webinar. So we hope this webinar informative and beneficial, and thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you at our future event. Before we close the session, let me take a picture for our documentation. For all the participants, please open your camera for documentation purpose. So I have 5 windows here. We will start with the first windows. Okay, the first windows, ready, smile. Okay. Next windows.
I like the
Salam, Prof.
sound. I like the sound.
Prof. Dadan also still join. Okay, the second window start. All right. Windows number 3, ready. Number 4.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have 68 participants.
I saw Prof. Dadan was there, and also Pak
Yeah,
Adrian. So thank you, Prof. Dadan, Pak Adrian. Wow, I'm waiting for your question actually.
Okay, the last windows.
Oh, okay, still last windows.
All right. Okay, finish. So thank you very much for all the participation for today webinar. So inshallah, we will have another seminar in the next 2 weeks. Later, Pak Gilang will share the information in detail. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Again,
everyone. So thank you.
okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Thank you very much.
wabarakatuh.
Thank you,
very
Prof.
much.
Akram.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.